In this lesson, we're going to demonstrate the power of Spring Boot by constructing a simple Spring application using Spring Boot and Groovy. For those of you who are not familiar, Groovy is a powerful, optionally typed dynamic language for the Java platform. It runs against the JVM, and we can use it to develop a Spring application. To get started, we're going to complete our application.groovy file. You'll see that I have created the application.groovy file using Notepad, much like you would a text file, but you just changed the extension. Now, within application.groovy, we're going to specify the code for a simple Spring application. So the first thing we'll do is we will create a class, and I'm going to call this class Hello World, and then I will open up the class body, and then within the class body, I'm going to declare a new method, and this method is going to return the word hello. And you can see how flexible Groovy is just with the syntax that we have to use. It's a lot less strict than Java. Now, on our method definition, I'm going to add a request mapping, and we'll map this method to the root context of our application. We're also going to declare our class as a REST controller. So this is a very, very simple class definition that actually contains a full Spring application. Now, you may be asking, how is that so? Well, let's take a look. What we need to do is we need to go over to a command line, and I'm sitting on my desktop, so you can see I have the application.groovy file on my desktop, and I'm just going to issue the command spring. So I'm using Spring Boot CLI, and I'm going to say run, and then I'm going to say application.groovy. And what you'll see is that we're going to see some lovely ASCII art here in a minute, but Spring Boot is going to inspect our application.groovy file, and based upon what it finds, it is going to add different functionality to our application. So for example, since we use the REST controller, Spring Boot is smart enough to realize that we're building a web application, and it's going to enable Tomcat and Spring MVC. So we'll get an embedded Tomcat container, and we'll also get a Spring MVC configuration that has been built for us. So now if we navigate to a browser, we can go to our local host and we just go to the root of that context. And there you see we've actually invoked our controller, and that is actually a full-blown Spring application. And this is the demo that you always see when you see the Spring developer screencast where they're showing the application that can be tweeted. This application can in fact fit within a tweet. Now you'll notice how much is not there. We're not using imports, we're not specifying a main method. All of that is being added by Spring Boot. It's quite amazing what we're able to accomplish with such a small amount of code. And that really demonstrates the power of Spring Boot and how it makes using the Spring platform much easier because it handles the configuration for us.